Well, there's more live football tonight on Sky Sports. Right now, over on Sky Sports Extra, AC Milan are taking on Valencia in the Amsterdam tournament. And that's followed at 7:45 by Liverpool against Ajax. Tomorrow night from 6:30 on Sky Sports 1, we start our coverage of the Bundesliga with Borussia Mönchengladbach against Bayern Munich. And also tomorrow from 7 on Sky Sports Extra, the final of the Copa America between Colombia and Mexico. That's then on Wednesday from 7 on Sky Sports Extra, Manchester United against Celtic, and that is the Ryan Giggs testimonial. Right now here at Celtic Park, it's Saturday night SPL football. It's Celtic St Johnstone. Celtic 1-0 to the good. Johan Mjällby got it. Let's rejoin David Provan and Ian Crocker.
Thank you, Jim. Well, St Johnstone have only ever won 3 times here in their history, and only once in the last 30 years. And Johan Mjällby's goal has made a very difficult task even more tricky for the Saints. Celtic crowned champions for the 37th time last season and looking to secure back-to-back titles, something they haven't managed to do since the early 80s. St Johnstone, though, although they're behind, won't be too distressed with the way things have gone so far this evening in Glasgow.
Yeah, I think they've just got to try and get a bit more support up to the front too, Ian, and that's easier said than done because the 2 wide players have spent most of the night, as we expected, looking after Agat and Bobby Petr. They've really got to try and get a bit more support forward to the front too, as they did early in the game.
So St Johnstone begin the second half, and Alan Main, by the way, has had a shirt change because the other one was completely wreathed in sweat, apparently. A bit sticky up on the gantry too. We changed our shirts at half-time. It's a very hot and sticky evening in Glasgow. Kane, Kemble, Lennon. Oh, Henrik Larsson just couldn't take the ball with him. Kemble, a late addition to the St Johnstone squad. Former Motherwell man. Here's Lovenkrantz. He lost out to Teberley, and now Agat. He's on his way, and when he's on his way, it usually spells danger for opponents. Lambert. Agat. Setting it up for Valharan. Here's Petr. Thompson takes over, but immediately ran into Hartley, and now Momo Silla.
Look at the green and white jerseys around Silla there as he took the ball. Celtic still pressing the ball. I'd imagine that the game will stretch. Very, very warm out there. It's bound to take its toll.
St Johnstone started last season pretty well, but the second part of the season was very poor. They've actually only won 2 of their last 20 games. But new season, fresh start for them. The fact that they've been written off by so many will only serve as motivation to prove everyone wrong. For Saif. McBride. Oh, some fancy footwork from him against his former club. Darren Jackson, by the way, might have also been facing his former club today, but he's got a back problem. Even Parker penalised?
I think he's unlucky to be penalised as well. That's exactly the type of 50-50 that St Johnstone are going to have to contest and win their fair share of if they're to get back into this.
Valharan. Petr. Thompson, cut out by Hartley. Henrik Larsson wasn't pulling out of that one with McBride. Here he is. Larsson, lovely little touch, and Alan Main is going to rush out and collect.
Tell you what, it wasn't a bad tackle by Larsson, was it? Eventually the ball, little ball dinked in behind there. Ross Forsyth, I think, was goal side of Sutton anyway, but Alan Main did well to come. I don't think there's a weakness in Henrik Larsson's game.
Larsson, of course, has committed himself to Celtic until 2004, when he'll probably go home to Sweden. Silla, St Johnstone's Player of the Year last season. And Scotland's most booked player, in fact, as well. 16 yellow cards. Something he's been told to try and cut down on this season, no doubt. Bobby Petter. Here's Henrik. Lambert. Now Agat. Agat takes some stopping. Sutton. Lambert. Celtic trying to prise apart the St Johnstone rearguard. Here's Alan Thompson. Straight to Main. Kimball. Doesn't want to show too much of it to Larson. Dodds. Lovenkrands was never ever going to keep that in. It came it in with a fair pace. Celtic beat two Premiership clubs in the last week of their build-up to the big kick-off more for the border. They turned over Fulham 3-0, and they beat Sunderland 1-0, although Sunderland were probably the better team much of the game here on Tuesday evening. But even so, it's good to get in the winning habit. Olivier Tebeli, a legacy from the John Barnes era. Tebeli delivers. Another legacy from the John Barnes era, Stilian Petrov. Should be back in a couple of months too, on breaking his leg last season. Thompson. Lennon, very much part of the Martin O'Neill era, not only at Celtic but at Leicester as well, of course. Here's Tebeli. He has a Gat outside of him if he needs him. Tebeli does manage to get his crossing.
He did reasonably well getting himself to the byline in the first place. Half decent pullback as well. But the pace has definitely dropped even this early in the second half, and I think, you know, no matter how much water the players took on at half-time, it is very warm out there. No real surprise that the game's starting to stretch, become a bit slower as well.
Kimball's given it straight to Thompson. Grant Murray helped out St Johnstone then. Kane trying to put Lovenkrands in, but he won't do it like that. Celtic gained a record 97 points last season. Rangers, though, will surely be a lot closer to them this time around, planning to be above them. They got off to a winning start earlier at Aberdeen.
He's leaning by the hands there, Darren Dodds, but once again it's Sutton at his best. He does this so well, he doesn't jump, just backs in. Darren Dodds, right arm over the top, certainly a free kick, but Chris Sutton does so well there.
Just a warning for Darren Dodds, no bookings in the game so far. Sutton, Larson and Mialbi waiting for the delivery from Alan Thompson. Kemble steered it away from all comers, and Lovenkrands puts it out. Gat gets it back from Lennon. And now Lennon gives it to Mjällby, scorer of Celtic's goal. Account doesn't get the free kick.
I think he should have. I think it's the assistant's call here. Taken late there.
The linesman not the most popular person on that side. After that decision, here's Silla. Kane. Grant Murray, but in came Valharen. Had his worst game last season, strangely enough, for his country, when he didn't really excel for Belgium against Scotland at Hampden Park, but hardly put a foot wrong for his club. Thompson will leave it for Valharen. Sutton. Petta. Lennon, always around. Tebeli. Larsson. Wonderful from Henrik Larsson. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, it deserved a reward. What a tremendous talent he is.
That's a bit of genius. Ben Campbell sells himself here though. Just there, ends up wrong side of Larsson. Great footwork to get himself clear. Just tries to dink it into the far post. A fraction out, but a great example of this man's ability. Couldn't really have been much closer, and that really would have put Celtic on easy street.
It's his 160th game for Celtic, and he's scored 122 goals. Needs to work on his finishing a bit, obviously.
Hey.
Silla will leave this for Paul Hartley. And he'll try and put Hartley in. Neil Lennon, ooh. Still hope here for Grant Murray. Away by Tebeli, but Paul Kane's going to hit it. Still no way through it. And here's Larsson, and he's going to have a gap. Racing ahead. Watch him go. Didier Agat. Quite often when you're playing against him, you end up watching him go. Lambert. Sutton. Nobody in there, though.
He's looking for a back post runner there, perhaps Alan Thompson. Didier Agat had a chance to play the ball in early. Look at Sutton make the run here. Could have played it here. Decided to wait on a bit of support. You see Alan Thompson on the right-hand side here, who could have gone back post. Decided to stay out, and there were no takers.
Chris Sutton scored on his debut in the opening game of last season. It turned out to be the winner at Dundee United. Little did Celtic realise on this weekend a year ago what the season had in store for them. Larsson, Sutton, Petta. Neil Lennon. Olivier Tebeli. Seeking out Sutton. Now Larsson. Now Lennon. Celtic going in search of a second. Bobby Petta looking to give St Johnstone a torrid time. He does, but it was a fine intervention in the end. Murray, who was responsible for that intervention, has started this St Johnstone attack. Lovenkrantz across to Silla. they're trying to get in and blocked out of it by Lennon.
I think St Johnstone have to make the most of set pieces. I don't think they're going to get too many chances in open play in the second half, so they've really got to get bodies forward here and try and put Rob Douglas under a bit of pressure.
St Johnstone, a dismal end to last season. Can they stun the champions here? Hartley's corner, away by Chris Sutton, and comfortably so, but McBride sends it back in. This time it's cleared by Febberly. Parker. There's certainly one for the future, and very much one for the present as well, as far as St Johnstone are concerned. Scottish under-21 international, who was actually top scorer for the Saints last season. Although he suffered when the team didn't play very well in the second part of the campaign. Hasn't actually scored in 17 games now. Main's kick comes off Kane. It'll be a throw for Celtic. Lovencrantz almost ends up amongst the Celtic fans. Don't think he would have fancied staying there for long. So that cometh the hour. Celtic lead through Johan Mjällby's first half goal. Sutton. St Johnstone working hard to deny Agat space. Certainly one of the bargain buys in Scottish football at 50,000 from Hibs. Sutton, Lambert, Thompson is in there, but it's easy for Alan Main, and he'll try and release Silla, but Balharan keeping a close check on him. And you need to, because he's not bad, Momo Silla. That'll go straight to Tebberley, mind you. Paul Lambert. Henrik Larsson. Thompson. On first time by Petter, who was actually caught late by Paul Hartley.
Just 10 minutes late.
Not much then.
He's played him well, Paul Hartley, but help yourself to some of this.
Thompson's free kick towards Chris Sutton. Dodds sticking with him. Thompson, though, floats it in, just going to veer away from Henrik Larsson, who was on the far stick. Larsson signed by Fim Janssen from Feyenoord for £650,000, which must be the soccer steal of the century. St Johnstone could actually win here at Celtic Park a few seasons back by a single goal. Nick Dasovic, who's out injured at the moment, got their winner, but that was their only success in 30 years of coming here.
I think the job's still to be done, though. And if there is such a thing as a horrible lead, it's 1-0, and Martin O'Neill will want that second one. That would tie the points up.
There's an unenviable task for St Johnstone, this, but a task that they've generally been pretty up for so far, especially bearing in mind that they lost Jim Weir and Stuart McCluskey to suspension. Dasovic and young David McClooney might have figured are injured. Graham Jones and Craig Russell, long-term casualties. They could be back in a month or two. And of course they lost Nathan Lowndes and Gary Boland to Livingston in the summer. Larsson has put it through to his fellow countryman Mjällby. well, was he trying to lift it over Alan Main?
A terrific supporting run again from the big fella.
Forsyth for McBride. The former Celts gives it straight to Paul Lambert, though. Larsson, back to Lambert. Lambert moves in! Paul Lambert makes it 2-0. Celtic starting the season as they mean to continue.
Well, that's the one they needed. And Paul Lambert, who spends most of his time behind the ball, prepared to go forward here. Delightful ball in by Larsson. Had Sutton going front post, but had enough composure to take a look up, and he just passes that below Alan Main. And Celtic at last can breathe a sigh of relief. The hard work's done now, and it's a super goal.
Paul Lambert's got his goal for the season in the first game of the season now, so that's it. He's done for. His only one of last season was a screamer against Rangers in that famous 6-2 triumph. And Celtic sitting pretty now. They want to get a few more though, Celtic. The fans will be more concerned about that. They just quite like to better Rangers scoreline today of 3-0 at Aberdeen. 3 points, however they come, will suit the players and the management, no doubt. Kemble. Hartley knocked that one on, and Paul Kane was looking to get in, but then mopping up. Now, St Johnstone are going to introduce one of their new recruits, Rachid Jabaili, who came from the 2nd division in France, a club called Noisy-le-Sec, which I'm sure you know all about. He's coming on for Keegan Parker. He's a goal-scoring midfielder, but he likes to get stuck in a bit as well. So we'll see how long it takes him to get stuck into Celtic. Hartley's throw for Silla. Away by Valharen, on by Larsson. Kemble's knocked down. Silla. And look who's there, Lennon.
Well, that's that. Tells us that Celtic really have grabbed this game by the throat in the second half. But the crucial second goal is the one that really counts here. Long, long way back for St Johnstone now.
Only relegated St Mirren won fewer games than St Johnstone last season. They'll be looking for an improvement on their 10th place finish. They come third a couple of years ago, but it's certainly going to be hard work for them. Although Sandy Clark will be first to point out that not many teams are going to leave Celtic Park with much this season. Lambert. Lambert looking to run the show as usual, but that one will bounce harmlessly through to Alan Main. He was never present last season. Tebele. Mjällby. Not usually the Swede who's on the score sheet at Celtic, but he is today. Sutton. He's put Didier Agat in. Agat taking on Lovenkrantz. Oh, and Alan Main having to tip that one over.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever in any bother there. Certainly isn't going to lose a goal from that angle, but once again, Agat asking the question of St Johnstone down the right-hand side. You do get the impression that the St Johnstone players are starting to feel a little bit leggy. They've been under a lot of pressure, been chasing the game in the second half. And maybe that pace just starting to tell a bit.
Alan Thompson's corner. Henrik Larsson on the end of it, as he so often is. In fact, it's gone away and sprung out for another corner, so it wasn't off his head. Celtic in control as Lennon is given a round of applause in that corner. Bobby Petter. Lennon's cross. Main was struggling a little bit. Henrik Larsson in there again, but it is a goal kick this time.
Yeah, I think he got a call there from Didier Agat, who was coming on to that. Well, I think that the goalie is a good example of how costly giving the ball away can be here. And you see John Paul McBride in this position, slack ball there. And from there on in, Paul Lambert's on his way. And what a good finish.
Lennon. Petter, who missed the run-in last season. He was injured. Kemble stops Petter in his tracks, but Henrik Larsson takes over. Lennon for Sutton. And for Syph and Lovenkrantz between them, just about deal with it. But St Johnstone on the back foot with 20 minutes to left on the opening day of the Scottish Premier League season, and the defending champions looking good for 3 points. Lennon's throw finds Paul Lambert, who promptly gives it back. Lambert to Sutton. He's looking to get in again, Paul Lambert, but no way through that time. Credit to Forsyth, although hang on, because Lambert has won it back. Didier Agat. Wasn't quite sure where he was going. Lambert. Lennon's throw towards Larsson. He's doing battle with Kemble, but he's won the battle. Kemble recovers to make a fine tackle.
Yeah, got there eventually, Ben Kemble. Once again, initially got too close to Larsson, sold himself.
Well, Paul Lambert wasn't picked up, and he could be in again. He is in again. An amazing start to the season for Paul Lambert, and Celtic are back on the trail of the title.
Well, not only 2 goals for Paul Lambert, but two with the left peg on the half volley. And that is a strike that Henrik Larsson himself would be proud of. What a terrific finish there by Paul Lambert. First touch is excellent, difficult to catch it on a half volley. What a good job he made of it.
Okay, I'll take it back. He hadn't scored his goal for the season first time around. A double for Paul Lambert. And St Johnstone, meantime, have made a change, with John Paul McBride making way for the arrival of Paddy Connolly, who had 1 or 2 injury problems last season. Been around a while though, Connolly, but it's all over for St Johnstone, really. And the man who has plotted their downfall has been Paul Lambert, who's on a hat-trick. Such a key man for them. The European Cup winner, of course, and he's hoping to get into the Champions League. Celtic face Ajax in a qualifier for that, and you can see them on Sky Sports Extra later tonight when they play Liverpool in the Amsterdam tournament. And 7:45. Sutton and Larson looking to combine, but not doing so that time. As Tebele sends it into touch. And as I was saying, next Wednesday, Celtic head for Old Trafford. Should be some contest that. It's a testimonial for Ryan Giggs. It's on Sky Sports Extra. Wednesday at 7. Could do with a few bob, I'm sure, Giggsy as well. Here's Murray. On by Hartley, away by Volharen. Celtic have matched Rangers' scoreline from earlier. Martin O'Neill wouldn't have been too bothered by how many they won, but it's going to be a winning start.
I don't think St Johnstone have done a lot wrong, but Celtic have simply worn them down from the first whistle. They've played away patiently.
And Volharen took a nasty one then. Ouch.
I didn't see a great deal in that, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think it does catch on Paul Hartley. Certainly Martin O'Neill will want to see him back on his feet, Ian, in the absence of Alan Stubbs and Ramon Vega. Now Celtic short at the back. And there you can see Celtic's complete dominance of this game, and in particular the second half. Far the busier side around the goalmouth. And it's been a pretty comprehensive performance by Martin O'Neill.
Well, he's got a busy time coming up with that trip to Manchester in midweek, and then they're at Kilmarnock, also on Sky Sports next week. And then, of course, they face Ajax. Lambert just clipped by Paul Kane. A quarter of an hour remaining. Larson. Agat. Neil Lennon. And Hartley probably could have let it go, but it's going to be a corner to Celtic, who have scored 3 goals, yet Larson hasn't got himself on the score sheet yet. I'm sure he'll be looking to change that. He loves getting on the end of these corners if he can. Thompson sends it in. Ooh, for a moment I thought he was going to get in.
Well, I think the worry for Sandy Clark now is that his side takes a hammering, and on day one you really don't need that in terms of the confidence. And I'll say again, I don't think St Johnstone have done a great deal wrong here today.
Well, they've got 2 home games coming up after this. St Johnstone against Dunfermline and Dundee United, which I'm sure they'll be looking to make the most of, although Dunfermline have a cracking start, putting 5 past Motherwell today. Here's Darren Dodds. Jabrali. Silla. Not really going to trouble Douglas too much.
It's a waste, because Jabrali had made a very good supporting run inside him. He's not going to beat Robert Douglas from that distance, I wouldn't have thought.
Silla from the Ivory Coast, but he plays his football for Guinea as Celtic prepare to make a triple substitution. Ooh, better pay attention here. It's Jackie McNamara, Lubomir Moravcik and Stephen Craney coming on. Johan Mialbi has made a positive contribution to the Celtic cause today with their opening goal. He's coming off, so too is Alan Thompson. And I think Didier Agat might be the 3rd man to go, although he's not too sure at the moment. He is coming off, and on come Moravcik, McNamara and Stephen Craney, who figured a few times last season. So a triple change for Celtic. 3 points with 3 goals and 3 points in the bag. 3 substitutions. That's a lot of threes. Here's McNamara, who came on as a sub in the Scottish Cup final and scored against Hibs to put Celtic on their way. Tebele. Here is Craney. Celtic only conceded 11 goals here in the league last season, and it looks like they're planning to be every bit as mean this time around. Lennon, Larsson, Lambert, and McNamara. Oh, vital interception from Lovenkrantz, because McNamara would have been on his way towards goal. Jabali. Craney keeping a check on that though. McNamara. Lennon. Just over 10 minutes remaining. Hasn't probably been as comfortable for Celtic as the scoreline might suggest.
Got a good long pass from young Stephen Craney there.
Jabali was kind of pulled down to Lambert's shorts then. I told you he'd like to get stuck in. He's got the first yellow card of the game.
Lambert looking to screen here, keeping his body between Jabali and the ball there, and did ever so well there, Paul Lambert. One hand on the ground. And he's got a handful of Paul Lambert's shots eventually.
I've got a feeling he might collect a few of those, Rashid Jabali. He looked like he might be in trouble last week at St Mirren in that friendly where there were 4 red cards. Of a fiery character, but he gets goals from midfield. He did so in the second division in France with Noisy-le-Sec. Tebele. Sutton. McNamara and Moravcik. Celtic looking for another. It's about time Henrik Larsson got one, but he's not going to get one just yet. Alan Main has kept that in. Lovenkrantz. Jabali. Momo Silla available. Kane with a swirling centre, which caught out Robert Douglas a little bit, but there was nobody on hand to benefit for St Johnstone, and McNamara hoisted up towards Sutton. Lovely touch for Henrik Larsson. Surely Larsson's got to get a goal on the opening day. He's not going to get one like that though. Connolly will be beaten to that by Mulharen. Craney and Tebele on hand.
Well, that possession stat surprises me. I thought Celtic had a bigger share of the ball in that. And certainly where it really counts in the last third. It's been one-way traffic towards Alan Main's goal.
Larsson. Larsson thought about seeking out Sutton, but it didn't really work out. Kemble. Lambert, the 2-goal hero. Mulharen. Moravcik. Good to see him still here. Sutton let it run. And Moravcik's going to take over. Dragged it wide though.
That's the difference fresh legs make against tired legs, Ian. Good supporting run by Moravcik. Thought he might have gone for the chip here over Alan Main. And just tries to drill it inside the far post.
Well, he was the second highest scorer, joint second highest scorer for Celtic last season with 14, same as Sutton. Jabali. Lovenkrantz. Paul Kane. Silla. Silla taking on Craney. Tries to bump him out of the way. Silla hanging in there. And got his cross in fact, towards Connolly. Hartley. Silla. And then it was tipped by Paddy Connolly. That'll be a free kick for Celtic.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be in any hurry to take it now. The job's done now for Celtic, and I think Martin O'Neill will be more concerned now in what remains of this game and wary of picking up injuries. I think he'll be pretty pleased with what he's seen here this afternoon. Excellent start to the defence of Celtic's title.
Well, O'Neill followed in the footsteps of the legendary Johnstone in winning the treble, something that Celtic had only done twice before with that top quality team of the late 60s. Craney to Sutton. Craney looking for Larson, and Forsyth boots it behind for a corner. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Celtic heading for a 5th straight home win over St Johnstone, and the other 4 were pretty convincing too. 5-0, 3-0, and a couple of 4-1s. Moravcik's corner. It's going to come right back to him on that corner spot. Petter. Neil Lennon. Up to Valharan. He was closely watched by Dodds. Jabaili. Moravcik. Across towards Sutton. Lambert. Moravcik. Here's Lennon. Larson let it go, but he gets it back from Sutton. And it's going to be a corner, I think. Or is it? No, maybe not.
It must have been Darren Dodds. If it is a St Johnstone player who got the last touch, it has to be Darren Dodds. Well, it's certainly Henry Larsson who's classed that wide.
It is going to be a goal kick. Still no goal for Larsson, but Celtic won't be too worried about that. There'll be plenty of those to come as the season progresses. Good to see others making a contribution on the goal front. Lambert, the star of the show. Larson skips away from Forsyth, but Kemble once again has had a pretty decent day against Henrik Larsson. Remember, Motherwell and Kemble, the only team that Larsson didn't score against in the league last season. Is Kemble going to win that personal battle again and snuff him out? The overall battle, though, has been won by Celtic.
Well, he's out very late there, Darren Dodds. He's certainly not off.
Silla. He's got away from Valharan. Paddy Connolly's waiting in the middle. And Douglas having to concede the corner. Not too happy about doing so either. Dimitri Karim, by the way, the sub-keeper for Celtic today, so Jonathan Gould very much out of the picture. St Johnstone looking for what would only be a consolation now. Your man of the match, David.
I think a toss-up between the goal scorers today, because I thought in the first half Johan Mjalby was superb for Celtic, not just by getting them on their way with the first goal, but the support he gave the front players in that first half. But the second half has belonged to this man, Paul Lambert, who has been absolutely outstanding, and the quality of the two finishes was first class. He is my Bank of Scotland man of the match tonight.
Bobby Pettar, our main grabs hold of that. It really has been a magnificent match for Paul Lambert. Lambert doubling his goal tally for the whole of last season, when he only managed to get that belter against Rangers. Murray, and now Jabaili, Connolly, Hartley, Silla, Jabaili, and Lennon wins it back for Celtic. Well, it's been a job well done eventually for Martin O'Neill's Celtic. St Johnstone won't be the last team to fall here without getting that much of a sniff of goal. McNamara. Lambert. Moravcik. We are in the 2 minutes of added on time. And Celtic look like they're going to get exactly the same score as their rather fierce City rivals. Rangers beating Aberdeen 3-0 earlier. Celtic 3-0 up against St Johnstone.
Yeah, it's always good to get the first one under your belt, because these flag days tend to go flat from time to time. And there'll be a fair bit of nerves in this Celtic camp before this match, but they've gone about it very well this afternoon.
Free kick given against Henrik Larsson, who hasn't made the score sheet, but he'll be probably on most of them this season. Moravcik has put McNamara away. What a wonderful pass from the skillful Slovakian. McNamara's cross, Henrik Larsson in the hunt, but it's a goal kick.
Terrific ball by Moravcik to send McNamara away in the first place. Good example of Larsson's movement here. He goes front post, tracked by Darren Dawes, just peels off to the back there, gets up well, just can't get over it though. And even at this late stage in the match, he still wants a goal.
It's all over, and Martin O'Neill's Celtic are up and running. They are on their way. The star of the show, Paul Lambert. 2 goals, but a lot more besides. And Celtic kick off the season with a convincing victory on the day the championship flag was unfurled in Glasgow's East End. It finishes Celtic 3, St Johnstone 0.
Yeah, as Ian says, Celtic off and running. Now, more live football over on Sky Sports Extra now. It's the last match from the Amsterdam tournament as Liverpool take on Ajax. That's followed at 10 o'clock by a huge night of live championship boxing, including Danny Williams against Julius Francis, Roy Jones against Julio Gonzalez, and Eric Morales against Injin Chi. And a look ahead to the football action coming up for you over the next week. Tomorrow from 6:30 on Sky Sports 1. Our Bundesliga coverage starts with Borussia Mönchengladbach against Bayern Munich. And on Sky Sports Extra from 7 o'clock, the final of Copa America, Colombia against Mexico. We're back on Tuesday from 6:30 on Sky Sports 3 with Inside Scottish Football. And then on Wednesday, the Ryan Giggs testimonial. That's Manchester United against Celtic from 7 o'clock on Sky Sports Extra. And next Saturday from 5:30 on Sky Sports 1, Kilmarnock against Celtic. Well, they're happy as they leave at Celtic Park. Our first helping of live Saturday night SPL action, and Celtic have won and won well. 3-0, reaction coming up.